lower cost of channel and ultimately a balanced distribution network, I suppose, because you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket, let's say, of a certain distribution. You would like to have a balanced approach on your distribution so that no one's pulling you in any sense. So this is a feedback that we hear quite often, loud and clear from the hoteliers, and I completely agree with that. I mean, putting my commercial hat on in my previous role, I think we spent a lot of time battling this very often. As in, how do we not end up having all our eggs in one basket? And GDS comes in a place where we want to have more, and how do we get more of that? So hotel attachment rate, which is currently at 30%, is that opportunity, as I believe. You know, there's 70% more to gain from. Now, how do we do that is the interesting question. I think AI plays a part. For me, AI plays a very important part here, where agents are prompted. Hotels ask as soon as they make airline booking. So that's just one way of looking at it. But there is opportunity. We need to work towards that. Education is part of it. But also agencies do realize now that the higher value of any travel, especially in the international travel, it's more, they can make more money on hotel bookings as compared to airline bookings. So yeah. When that realization is on them, I think you'll see more hotel attachment rate. Hopefully that means balanced distribution for hotels. The hotel management company which shows their a stronger brand value.
Fantastic. I think this is the last question, just in case you are getting worried. So the point here is, technology is one thing. Like we people sit in between suppliers and buyers, but also we need to understand how can we work collaboratively. So maybe one promise from each of us to the audience when it comes to future collaboration. And if I may start with you, Karishma, what do you think?
So I would just go back to the origin of the problem, is to understand the traveler better. If we are able to capture traveler intent very strongly, very sharply, the opportunities for collaboration just open up. They open up like floodgates, and there are actually so many aspects where I think collaboration is possible. I would probably start with content because that's my pain point. AI, I think, is another very important piece in terms of being able to have that layer on top, which can, get you the best, whether it is from the travel side, from the airlines, the hotels, experiences, stitching that all together. I see AI playing a very big role there. And finally, I would say also incentivization, incentivizing agents to have that collaborative experience, whether it's an airline or a hotel, to put the story together. Instead of selling the parts in isolation, we should sell the entire car or the entire ship, the entire journey.
Fantastic. Sakshi, what do you think?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll give slightly different perspective here on collaboration. So basically, we need to work focusing, keeping in mind the customer basically. Tech solutions and hotels and agents, we all have to come together so that we don't work in silos and provide a collaborative solutions. Like tech should not just think of platforms, hotels should just not think about filling rooms, and agents just not the commission. So when all of three come together and we don't work on silos, I think that's the collaboration we would look at, which is highly customer focused.
Fantastic. Amida, quick.
I'd say I think GDS is more like mutual fund SIP. Everything else is like the larger stock market, which is more volatile. GDS brings you some sort of reliability, which is greater than other platforms. It's more organized. It's relatively still easier to manage compare. I don't want to name really. So I think we need to really foster and strengthen the partnership. There's a lot of scope. I think there's been a sort of a mindset of taking it for granted that it's our cousin next door is always going to turn up when we're going to have a problem, but we need to treat him well so that they turn up. So there's, I think there's a great deal of scope for collaboration, and we should, I think, engage more. We should engage more on content visibility, which is very important, because you might just invest dollars in visibility, but if the content quality is not good, it's not going to give you the results, what the ROI that it should. Dynamic pricing we spoke about. I think, of course, AI is big. I think AI will really enable and fast track all of the things that we discussed. It will also help in really improving the content visibility and the dynamic pricing, hyper personalization, so on and so forth. So greater collaboration, more data insight sharing both ways, and I think more meetings, whether it's in person or virtual. It really helps and brings a lot of stuff, in those conversations that help you really pivot your strategy in the right direction. If you're not talking, you don't know.
Fantastic. Jimmy, a quick word from you as well.
I'll go back to my first point, as in we play a very big role when it comes to global travel. And as hotel companies, especially Indian hotel companies, which are trying to go global in this sense, that opportunity which exists in the GDS market needs to be tapped into, if I can say that. So how are we collaborating on that front? Our hotels working with agencies along with us sit in the middle of this to find that opportunity, be it tech, be it demand, to ensure that we are having a balanced approach to it, and going global from a local demand point.
Fantastic. So I think the conclusion is we have committed that we'll collaborate. That means any agency wants to meet a hotel chain shouldn't be ideally saying that we don't need you. There is definitely a need that exists between both buyer and seller. I think technology is a big piece. Third thing is data and analytics. If you want to have access to some sort of high level data between cities, O&D, reach out to us and we'll be definitely happy to help you. And eventually I think we should always collaboratively stay in touch. I don't think any hotelier, at least after this session, and I can say on behalf of at least these three brands, they shouldn't say no to a travel agency going forward. Is that a commitment? Yeah, they said yes. Yeah, it's on record. All good. We just want to also thank you guys because of you this session became really impactful. So thank you for being here and listening this through. Thank you.